Bristol Dragway, Thunder Valley, man. This is a track I was super excited PDRA put on the schedule for this year, man. I've raced here a few times in the flings. Shout out to Peter Biondo and those guys. You know, really I'm a bracket racer at heart. I just like the go fast stuff too. This track is tricky. The weather is tricky. The weather, like, the heat rolls in, rolls out. I mean, the cars are gonna pick up, slow down, just all depending on the time of day it is. So it's really tricky racing conditions, especially when you're trying to be consistent. Man, and I'm gonna tell you, we're in the last 3 races of the season. We're sitting #1 in the points. We are only 50 points ahead of Steve Furr. Now, just a little background on Steve Furr, man. He's a legendary racer. I mean, he's an icon of top dragster racing. He's won 14 world championships. Sorry, Steve, you might have won more. I know of 14. You know, in IHRA, NHRA, and now PDRA, he's last year's world champion. And you know, it really feels good, man, to be the snake on his heel, be racing with him at his level and really competing. Hopefully I can get this championship over him, and that's the goal. And that's where we're coming to this race with that one thing on our mind. We want to get the car to be consistent, hit the tune-up, get it down the track, have clean run. All in all, try and get some more points. Get that step ahead. You know, right now we're sitting at like 1475. I'm trying to get some points here. I really need a few round wins. So, to recap, at Michigan, second round at Michigan, we broke the timing belt. All the pistons hit all the valves. The door was wide open in Michigan for me to really make a move and just bury Steve Furr in the points. You know, y'all saw the runs. I was killing it, killing the tree. I mean, the runs were just good. The car was amazing, incredible. The last 2 weeks, we've only had a 2-week turnaround. We've had to tear this whole engine down, build the whole thing back up, get it all back together for this race. It's been a job. We've worked our tails off. But man, I'm telling you, it was worth it. The weather looks beautiful here. All weekend, it doesn't look like we're gonna have an ounce of rain after getting showered in Michigan. I'm looking forward to that. So we've got some good racing, competitive racing, and we got a championship on the line. So we're about to make it happen coming up in testing. But like I said, we're gonna start out, we're gonna be a little conservative. We're gonna see what we can do to try and make this thing be consistent at this track. This track is known for hard weather swings and bumps. It's bumpy because they have tunnels running under it, and you feel it going down the racetrack. So we're going to be managing all of that, and hopefully we can get a combination that we can race with. And the pits, dude, the pits, killer, man. The views we have, just green mountain areas all around us, man. We'll show some shots of the track, and just, I mean, the facility here is killer. Carved out right in the valley in between mountains. I mean, literally, like, the grandstands are built into a mountain. It's beautiful. You can hear the cars echoing. You can hear, I mean, God, these Pro Chargers, man. These Pro Chargers with these zoomy headers. Shoot, I bet you 10 miles away they can hear me do my burnout. It's legendary, man. This track is legendary. This is where, I mean, a lot of really, really good racers, they've cut their teeth here. You know, and they've made a name for themselves. So we're here to do it. All right, so testing, like I was saying earlier, we're just going for consistency, trying to see what the track's like. So what I found is, man, there are some bumps in the right lane especially, you know. Early on at the 60-foot cone, there's probably something right there in the right lane. It upset the tire a little bit. Went on down, and you can see the car start sashaying a little bit on the top end. It's because I hit another bump and it upset the car. It's going to be interesting driving the stripe, having to deal with those bumps. You know, that's one thing that's on my mind. Honestly, we still laid down some good runs. I think the left lane is definitely a better lane. So you're going to see me running the left lane on race day, unless I get moved out. I really do feel as though the bumps are just where the tunnel's going over the track. I feel as though those bumps, even though they're not really upsetting the ET much at all, I think it's going to affect my driving game on the other end. You know, just hitting those bumps, looking over and things like that, that's not really a good feeling, you know, in your seat. So that's definitely a curveball I wasn't expecting coming into this track. But that's all right. We've got a really good race car, so hopefully it'll make my job easy and I won't have to drive the stripe too much. I can rely on it more than me. We ran an 82 and we ran an 84. We're coming into some night air, so things are gonna get cooler, it's gonna get faster. We're on the mountain. When that air swings and it comes in, and we're gonna see this is the perfect time to see what's gonna happen at nighttime on race day. So, you know, after first round, we'll have first round around 4 or 5 o'clock probably, and then second round is going to be around 7. So that air is going to drop, the track's going to get better, and then you got 8 o'clock for the semis, and the finals are going to be at 10. So we're going to see the car picking up constantly as the race goes on, and we're going to have to just fight that and figure out how much is the car picking up. So that's going to be a ratio we learn in this qualifier today. So we've got qualifying coming up, and I'm pretty confident we'll be deep in the sheet, but let's see how deep we can get it. All right, qualifying. Man, that 78 run, that was something. While it's real stout here on the mountain, honestly, we picked up 6 numbers, and that was no adjustment to our tune-up. So, I mean, that's a big increase from, you know, daytime to nighttime. A little more than I'd like. You know, the air was good, the car was happy, it was running. I mean, the track was there. The left lane, it's really a good lane. You know, it's a good lane. There's still the bumps on the top end, but honestly, I'm a little more confident now. You know, I've hit them bumps enough times that I feel pretty confident I can deal with it and drive and play my game. So we might end up relying a little bit on that and maybe implement some holding strategies and things like that to try and offset that difference just for that's kind of pickup, you know. Obviously, we're still going to need to be on our game on, you know, how much is in my pocket and what to do on the finish line. But, you know, I'm a bracket racer. Those are my roots. I hold numbers, and I can do it. I can do it driving this thing too. It might just be a little bit more difficult at this track, but we're going to see what we can do. You know, I'm shooting for a championship. I got to pull every stop I can, and I got to do my best. So that's going to be the plan on race day. So we had the 78. We turned around the next morning. Conditions were a little worse. So we slowed up from that 78 to the 81. We did change a little bit of tune-up, but it wouldn't have been enough. It might have accounted for like half a number. We just moved some timing right where the tire just looked like it might have gotten into a little bit of trouble. Our final qualifying session, that's really the one we wanted to look at to set up for first round. Those conditions, the first round, should be pretty close to identical. Seeing what that thing did at that last qualifier really lets me know what the car is going to run in that first round. You know, we've got Matt Cook first round. He's a good racer. I'm pretty sure he won the PDRA championship in 2017, maybe 16. Good racer. I've known him for a long time. Good dude, great guy. But buddy, when I put that shield down, he ain't my friend. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna be trying to whoop his tail. We got a championship to win, and man, a big turn of events. Steve Furr had trouble qualifying, so he's not in the show. The door's wide open today, and I've got to do my job. I've got to put the nail in his casket and bury him, because he's a good racer, and he can come back from it still with 2 races left. I know he can. I've seen him do some incredible things over the years. So that's the goal today. We just got to go deep, win some rounds, get some points, nail the coffin shut. So that is the game plan. I've been good on the tree. My last lights have been 11, 9, 9, and 8. I mean, we're killing this thing. I'm gonna insure this bad boy right here. I mean, I'm incredible. I've raced here a lot of the flings. I know the tree, I know the track, you know, it's helping. It's really turning out to help. So hopefully I can carry that over to today, which is race day. We got first round coming up. We got Matt Cook. And from there, man, we're just gonna be going rounds, doing our deal, and hopefully we can put this thing on the dance floor in Bristol. Man, that would be awesome. I've never won a race here, and man, this is the one to do it right here. So we're shooting for it. Not really the outcome I wanted here at Bristol. We lost first round. Matt Cook, you know, I've known Matt for a long time. He's a good racer. We've hung out at the fling events and stuff like that, and we've had a good time, several good times together. He put it on me. He 002 on the tree. We misstyled the car. I'm 13 on the tree, and man, I was riding up to him, and I know earlier I said I was going to fool around with holding numbers. That one I felt pretty good on the tree. I didn't think I should hold. I made a mistake. I should have probably put some in my pocket, made sure I was gonna get there, because we weren't 100% on the conditions. We ended up losing 2 numbers. As I'm going down the track, I'm looking over and I'm like, man, am I gonna get around him? And am I gonna get around him? And I made a last second decision. No, I'm not gonna get around him. I stabbed the brake pedal, and I did all the math, and everything works out. I wouldn't have got around him, so I made the right call, but it was a lose-lose no matter what I did. I lost it at the tree. You know, I needed a better reaction time. I should have set up tighter, but I was still right there in my group. You know, I've been killing it on the tree here. Man, we really had a race car and a combination that could have won. We just met the wrong guy at the wrong time. What do you think, man? What are your thoughts on this event?
I'll keep it clean. So my thoughts on the event are, it's a great place to race. The weather definitely is, it's tough to figure out. We came out of the trailer and made some decent runs. The thing that really threw us a curve was on Thursday night, it just set sail. We went to 78, which really was not a number it should have run, but it did. And when we started using that as part of our factor with the air, you know, figuring our ratio, it gave us a number that wasn't realistic, and that's where we misdialed the car today. So anyway, with that, taking that into consideration, we probably missed the dial by 1 from what we had weather-wise when we left and went up to the start line. But while we were up there was an accident. Guy crashed, so the track, we were down for, I don't know, 45 minutes or more maybe, while they cleaned everything up, and the weather got worse. So that added another number, and there you go, we missed our dial by 2. So what we needed On top of maybe it was a little bit better light, was a little bit better dial in the car.
Yeah.
And I even questioned myself, and I thought while we were waiting up there, I thought, hey, I'm gonna run down there and check the weather. I think next time I'll listen to my inner voice there, and I'll check that weather.
Yeah. You know, that's racing. You're gonna run against tough competitors, and you got to be there. And we just weren't there for first round. We do have some good news as far as the points. Thiefer didn't make it into the show, so we didn't have to worry about him. We got a little bit of a lead on him now. And everyone else that was in competition, the points lost first round. So literally nothing changed, you know, everything's the same. I might have one more round on Steve Furr, and that's it. So it's not the nail in the coffin that I wanted, but you know, it really is the best case scenario for a bad situation. So I'll count that as a blessing. I'll count that as a little bit of luck being my way. And you know, Galat's my home track. I love that track, and I've got a lot of wind lights there. So I plan on turning on a lot more here in a couple weeks.